Suma, play Roxette.
Now playing Roxette. Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart when he's calling for you. Listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know where you're going, and I don't know why. But listen to your heart.
Welcome to the Night Pod Cometh, where we talk about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I am your host, Jamie G. Esquire the Fifth. And I like to call myself a lawyer because, well, I call them as I see them.
I'm calling Mental Health Day.
I'm here at Magnum Mills and the Soupdeucer. We're going to discuss the season 16 finale, Dennis Takes a Mental Health Day. This calls for a good old-fashioned beverage, enjoying a beer, excited to talk about I can't believe we're already at the finale of season 16.
Yeah, I really wish that they did 10 episodes even. I think 10's a good number, and I am also just drinking a beer, although they don't drink the Coors Light the way they used to on the show. They're all still drinking random beers, including a Pabst out of a bottle, so shout out that. I am Magnum Mills, and you are listening to and or watching the Night Pod Cometh. Thank you very much for doing so. Find us wherever you get your pods and on YouTube. You can find us on social media at Night Pod Cometh. Please, I want to say, don't forget your beer, but also don't forget the flaps. Follow, like, and please subscribe. This is how other people find our show, how they find our channel. We greatly appreciate it. It's all we ask. If you had fun, give us that thumb. So how are you doing tonight? Are you taking a mental health day with us, or are you going to take a mental health day because of us?
I really think it's a bit of both, man, so...
Oh, you're pulling Jamie G's move, a little column A, a little column B. That
column
shit
B.
is spreading, dude.
It's definitely spreading.
Like
I'm not drinking Pabst out of a bottle, although that's pretty fucking classy. I'm drinking PBRs out of a can. Yeah, man, just trying to take her all into you. This mental health day was something else. So let's get into it, man.
Well, you should know that the Night Pod Cometh, we are a full-on spoiler show. Every single thing associated with Sunny, including all previous episodes, podcasts, interviews, etc., etc. It could all come up in the discussion here when we break down this episode titled Dennis Takes a Mental Health Day. This is your only warning.
Let's do this thing!
This is season 16, episode 8, the 170th overall of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, titled Dennis Takes a Mental Health Day. Originally aired July 19th, 2023. Directed by Heath Collins. This is the 13th episode of Sunny that he has directed. Written by Ross Maloney. This is his first written by credit on Sunny. Guest starring Phil Abrams as Doctor, Timothy David Reed as Brandon, Athena Neri Nest as Suma Receptionist, Jeremy Denziegler as Police Officer, Iris Loop as Susan, Els Kors as Cashier, and Michael James Johnson as Phone Store Clerk. The short plot synopsis is, after a physical reveals Dennis has high blood pressure, he decides to take a day away from the gang to de-stress at the beach. But life has other plans, and his day spirals into a string of mishaps until he can no longer contain his rage.
Any notable callbacks or references from the season finale here that you think we should highlight?
Well, I mean, if we had to highlight all the times Dennis Reynolds could no longer contain his rage, we would be here for a very long time. I would say that we've seen Dennis kind of imagine things before, most notably in Mac and Dennis Move to the Suburbs in season 11.
Stop. You ever been in a storm like that, Wally? Dennis! You okay, dude?
And the gang saves the day back in season 9.
Yeah.
The situation with Dennis is inspired by a real-life experience that Glenn Howerton had with his Tesla. He discussed it on the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia podcast, specifically on the Sweet Tea Has a Heart Attack episode. And Dennis using the people and things around him that he saw to fill out his fictional story is pretty clearly an homage to the ending of the movie The Usual Suspects. He might have Kaiser Soze'd it a little bit there. Dennis ripping the heart out of a dude's chest was very reminiscent of a similar heart-snatching scene from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And we get yet another version of the Dennis system here, which has come up in multiple episodes, most notably the Dennis system from season 5.
Well, let's open it up with our overall thoughts on Dennis Takes a Mental Health Day. This episode had a hell of a twist in the final act. I mean, did it make or break the episode for you, Soup? How'd you think about that when it comes to fruition there at the end?
I thought, it definitely didn't break the episode. I don't want to say it made the episode, but it was a nice little twisted cherry on the top there to cap it all off, man. I was pretty happy with it, dude. I like the outside of the box shit like that, man. And it was impressive. It was impressive.
I thought it was a lot of fun to see it all come together, and I mean, they couldn't have picked a better song. It just the song choice here was just crushed. You got to listen to your heart, right? So I mean, and the fact that it came back at the end, all the little pieces throughout, I think it makes it. I really enjoyed it. This episode would have been really good without it. With that, it just put it over the top of being an awesome episode for me. Interesting choice to put that one at the season finale, just having it be so Dennis centric, but the ending just absolutely puts it over the top for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think the ending kind of took it to another level. They could have ended the episode just when he walked out after getting the phone call. The Kaiser Soze thing was just, I mean, beautiful. Chef's kiss right down to him tossing the thing over his shoulder without looking, the bottle, and it goes in. And the security guard who played the cop kind of looks, and you just see Dennis do he's smiling. He's so self-assured. And this was really kind of the first episode that in a minute, really blew me away. Not really because it was the best episode or the funniest episode, just because it was really real and totally relatable until it really wasn't, right? And then all of a sudden it became, something else entirely, which was just the metamorphosis, the Dennis Reynolds coming out of his cocoon or whatever. And we had talked about how Risky Rats was maybe one of the better endings in the show's history, the way that cut works when they go outside in the chaos after Frank flips a switch. But this one is, probably right up in there, and I think probably even better than that. So shout out the show for pulling off two great endings in their 16th season. Obviously a great showcase for Glenn Howerton, just absolutely slated. He got to basically play all of the different parts of Dennis throughout the episode, killed it. Only minor quibble is having limited appearances from the rest of the gang. But honestly, I'd rather them done this way and just have them in those couple of little scenes and try to shoehorn them in. And they don't really get enough plot, but it takes away enough from the Dennis plot to bring it down. So I really don't mind it here. And like Jimmy G said, definitely a bold move, Cotton, to deploy it as your season finale.
Wells, please listen to my heart, which is saying that I'm too lazy to do the recap. Just come on, man. Just do me a solid here.
All right, dude. Solid will be done. It's 10:30 a.m. on a Wednesday. Dennis is having a checkup at the doctor, who notes that Dennis has high blood pressure. The doctor wants to prescribe some medicine for him, but Dennis doesn't want that. It's for old men. Dennis tells him that he'll take care of the situation because Dennis Reynolds don't suffer no fools.
We're also getting old, so it's one of those things where I think it's probably more relatable for people that age, right? And we just kind of happen to fall in the general consensus there. But I thought it was just so Dennis and so funny when he was just like,
if I wanted my blood pressure to be low, I would simply command my body to make it low.
I mean, that's just such a Dennis thing. And it's just, I knew when we got to there, I was like, oh, this has potential to be a good one, dude. Dennis could be on one here.
Yeah, and that's definitely, I don't know if it's a reference. We've seen him do that before, especially in The Gang Gets Quarantined, where he does the...
Oh, Dennis, you don't look good.
Trust me, D. If I found myself getting sick, I would simply say, "Sickness be gone!"
Where he thinks he can just will himself out of what turns out to be alcohol withdrawal. And you're right, just to shout out the quote here, simply because he had to say that he's chronically suffering fools.
That's really not how chronic high blood pressure works.
Okay, well, it is how it works with Dennis Reynolds, okay? And if I'm chronically having high blood pressure, it's because I'm chronically suffering fools who won't listen to me when I say that I can do things.
Howerton is just on one here. And the only other thing I want to ask before we move on is, did either of y'all have any idea that what we're going to see going forward wasn't going to be real? We hear Dennis actually say he's going to take control. They set it up well, but you don't notice it, right? They Shyamalan this, right? They Sixth Sense us a little bit.
Oh, a total M. Night Shyamalan here. I mean, it was a Shyamalan ding dong, dude. I did not think that was going to be what it was really until he's removing the heart. Then it was kind of like, okay, maybe something's amiss here. But up until that point, no clue.
Yeah, it wasn't obvious, man. It definitely wasn't obvious. Looking back on it a second time, you can kind of, though obviously then when you piece it together. But yeah, your first go through, man, it's not there. I think it's what it is up until at least, after the Daisy conversation or whatever. I think that really takes a turn to more of an unrealistic approach. But yeah, up until that point, man, it's pretty much like you wouldn't know.
I think that's about right. At home, Dennis downloads an app to monitor his pulse and resting heart rate via his smartwatch and cell phone. He gets a call from Charlie, who's with the rest of the gang. They want to know where they are relative to sea level because they're trying to use a pressure cooker. Dennis has had enough and he calls Mental Health Day. He's just going to go to the beach and stare at the ocean. Mac reminds him that his car is in the shop, and the rest of the gang talks about going to the beach with him. The watch starts beeping, indicating that Dennis's blood pressure is rising. That's enough for Dennis, and he hangs up the phone. Did the sea level thing do anything for anybody? Like Mac talking about the Navy, how do they, cook the food on the submarines or whatever?
Not really. I think it really didn't do much to me until we saw him trying to make diamonds. I thought it was kind of like that was something I could see the gang doing, but early on here it was just kind of like, just kind of annoying noise from the gang, I think.
I mean, they had to do something. Was this a good enough something?
I think so, man. I mean, it was a good call in, and it was just so random. Like, are we above sea level? Oh, a little bit on the fucking, obviously, you're not underwater. So why are you going into that? But, it's something that it's definitely a conversation that it didn't surprise me that they were having, So yeah, I thought that was all believable enough, man.
Yeah, and it sets up the idea that they might want to go to the beach with him, which leads you to believe, like, we can see this happening, right? That's how the gang works. Like, they would totally just glom onto Dennis. Like, we've already seen D glom onto a private jet flight. Random reference when Frank does a Mental Health Day. What kind of cuckoo shit is that? Shout out to James Vito, who appeared in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, set in a mental health facility. So probably just a little bit of a quote there. Again, just excellent writing overall, I think, in the episode. After that, Dennis goes to a rental car company where he's made a reservation. Unfortunately, they don't have a car in the class that he's reserved. No worries. He gets a free upgrade to a Suma, which is, pretty obviously supposed to be a Tesla. It's a fully electric, fully automated car, and it doesn't even have a key. You just have to download an app. Dennis is excited about the upgrade, but not excited about having to download yet another app to his phone. He rants about this, and his blood pressure begins to rise again. He takes a deep breath and decides just to go with it, and he downloads the app. If any of y'all ever had an experience like this, you've seen it on Seinfeld, you make a reservation for something, and it's not there when you go for it.
Yeah, and it is beyond frustrating. I'm actually proud of Dennis, how cool he was here. He's a cool customer. Nothing worse than when I make a reservation for something and it's not ready, it's not there. It's
any specific one. Like, I remember I had to get a U-Haul to drive, like 450 miles to move stuff. Went to pick up the U-Haul. It's not there. You didn't have extra days. There was no other ones available. It was a terrible inconvenience. There was no free upgrade even. It was just, you're screwed. And then I had to fight the credit card company to get a full refund and everything. It was wildly terrible.
Well, it's not really the same thing, but I think it deserves to be noted, and it kind of plays in well. Nothing worse than a doctor's appointment where you go on time and then they make you wait 38 minutes before you go back there, even though you've been there on time.
That's industry standard. That's just industry standard.
They set the appointment though. That's frustrating to me. That's basically I had a reservation and you're making me wait 40 minutes longer. I digress.
If you have an appointment or reservation, it should be there should be no fucking anything. It's like, here you are, here's your fucking shit, dude. That's why you called ahead. That's why you made arrangements. To fuck with that isn't cool, man. I mean, it deflates the purpose of even having that. You may as well just walk in. But we don't take walk-ins. So no, you got to make the reservation, and they still fuck you with some other shit,
And I don't think it was a direct reference to Seinfeld, but it felt like that a little bit, right?
I don't understand. I made a reservation. Do you have my reservation?
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, we ran out of cars.
But the reservation keeps the car here. That's why you have the reservation.
I know why we have reservations.
I don't think you do. If you did, I'd have a car. See, you know how to take the reservation, you just don't know how to hold the reservation. And that's really the most important part of the reservation, the holding. Anybody can just take them.
It was Seinfeld-ish, yeah.
Seinfeldian.
Whatever the proper Spectacular is.
Yeah, no, I think both are actually technically correct. So far, Dennis is really enjoying this Suma experience. He engages the self-driving function, and he has the car play him some Roxette. He needs something to mix with his kratom, so he asks the Suma to direct him to the nearest tea shop. Dennis arrives at Teaspoon, but he's unable to order tea without boba, and he can't pay without downloading their app. When his heart rate begins to rise, Dennis again takes a deep breath and orders 2 boba teas. Anything on boba tea, kratom, either y'all guys? I'm not a tea guy, man. I don't really know. Like, what's the deal with boba? You know, for doing the Seinfeld thing. I could hear him saying that.
You know, I've never had one. I almost want to try one now, just so that I have a frame of reference. And there is literally, I looked this up today, man, and I shit you not, less than 700 fucking yards from, or whatever the fuck it is, from where I am. There's a smoothie boba tea shop right down there around the block. So I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna check it out. I didn't get a chance to do it today, but I will come back with full feedback on my experience there. And if they make me pay with an app, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. If they don't take cash, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. And I'll tell you guys all about it.
That's good soup.
I've definitely had boba many times. You know, it's good, man. I mean, boba's like a wide-ranging selection. I mean, there's so many different choices when it comes to boba. Some of them are fruit, some of them are sweet. You know, it's just kind of like a Starbucksing up of tea, right? They're adding shit to add flavor and sweetness to it. That's basically what Starbucks does with coffee. They're doing it with tea, but I don't mind boba. It's a nice little chewy thing. It's texturally, it was a little weird at first, but I'm on the boba train, man. It's not bad.
See, I don't like
Chewy
chunky,
sugar
I don't
tea.
like a chunky drink, man. I don't like pulp in my orange juice. I don't want chunks of coconut in my fucking water. I don't like it. I don't like to drink something that I have to chew. I'm drinking something. It's not soup, you know. Like I want to chug it. I don't want to chew shit, you know. So I don't like a chunky drink, dude.
I don't think I do either, unless it's maybe a milkshake. And I do have to say, cash should be universally accepted, right?
You would fucking think so. I mean, who the fuck doesn't take cash? That blows my mind, man.
It's weird. When we were younger, right? Like everyone took cash. Not everyone took card. Now that we're old
Right.
enough to, like, you know, you've lived long enough to become the villain or whatever. Kratom. What the hell is that? Either y'all know?
Yeah, I think it actually is a root, some sort of root or some sort of green, some sort of plant that grows in Southeast Asia, and it definitely has medicinal qualities like that. I've heard it could even potentially be psychedelic if taken in large amounts. But you know, I've never had it, but that's my general understanding of what it is. There's so much crazy stuff on the market today; it's hard to keep up with it all.
Yeah, I remember when we were kids, all they had was ginseng and smoked banana peels. I really just like the Teaspoon is the name of the restaurant and the logo and the look they came up with. I actually thought that was really great. So to shout out everyone, costume,
Clever,
set
yeah.
design, the logo, you know, graphic design, everything. I just thought that was all really good. And of course, Dennis complaining about everything, and you clearly see it's all posted on the signs right there. He's got cash though. Next, Dennis brings his 2 boba teas to his car, but he struggles to open the door while holding them. So he puts his phone on the roof of the car. Distracted by Roxette playing at full volume, he forgets to grab his phone, and he drives off with it still on the roof of his car. After driving for a bit, the car warns him that the key can't be found, and Dennis realizes that his phone is missing. He gets a call on his watch from the gang, and they want to know if they can eat his month-old French dip. Dennis tells him not to, and while he's talking, the car blows through a stop sign. Dennis is pulled over, and the cop forces him to stop the car and exit the vehicle. The car then automatically rolls up the windows and locks the door. Without his phone, Dennis has no way of unlocking it. Everyone's forgotten something on the roof of your car before, right? I've definitely forgotten phone, CD book, coffee. All 3, like at different times in my life. When I was younger, all 3 of those I've forgotten.
Oh, for sure, dude. I mean, I've definitely left shit up there. But as I was watching this, I was like, you know, the first thing I would have fucking put up there would probably have been the drinks. Now I've left fucking beers and liquor drinks and everything up there, but never would I'd like, at least no, I've run over a phone and shit before and done other fucked up shit with a phone, but I never left one on the roof of the car. That probably would have went in my pocket first. I probably would have put the fucking drinks up there. And then, you know, I mean, just out of habit and the years of having to be so important about a phone, that's the one thing I check right next to my keys and my wallet, boom, boom, boom. Everything else is fucking whatever the fuck, you know. So I probably wouldn't have made that mistake. I like to think I wouldn't have. I probably would have ended up leaving one of the fucking keys up there and driving away like that. No big deal. But yeah, driving away at the phone. But I also find this kind of unbelievable because he also has the watch and the car that is linked to his phone. Why didn't you just track the fucking thing and go back and get it?
Yeah, that's what he should have done when he gets a new phone. But we'll get to that when we come to it. Jamie G, you ever left anything in the roof of a car?
Oh, 100%, dude. I mean, I'm famous for setting it right there, trying to carry too many things. I have left a phone up there, but I caught it like by the time I was backing out of my driveway and it was still up there. Definitely left full cups of coffee, empty cups of coffee, papers, books, you name it. One time I left a briefcase up there, but again, caught it very soon after. I've never gotten out on the open road with it up there. But I did one time see my tumbler go tumbling off in the rear view. So, oh yeah, I've been guilty of that for sure.
You ever have somebody stop you, like ride by you and like be pointing at you and honking the horn and shit, and then you're like, oh, I left my shit up there, man. You know, I shit you not, dude. I probably went like a good couple of blocks or something one time with a fucking beer on the top of the car, and you know, people were fucking trying to get my attention and everything. And I pull off and I'm like, oh shit, man, I left my beer up there, dude. You know, it's like
It's not really something you're supposed to admit to on cam, but I love it.
Yeah, I don't know that you're supposed to be.
I wasn't the one driving, man.
All right. Yeah, okay. Then
Yeah, but,
makes,
it's
okay.
still open container. You can't. I mean,
Well, no, he didn't mean to. He meant to throw it out, not bring it in the car. That's all he's saying. And I do have to say, I actually drove miles before with, and this is how you know I'm old. It was a 200 CD book. Good thing those things weighed like 40 pounds. Definitely went multiple miles up and down hills, 45 miles an hour. That stayed on there. It was kind of amazing. And let me just ask you, month-old French dip, if that was the name of a song, what genre would it be? I'm going with acid jazz. Acid jazz I'm going with.
I'm going new metal, like some new metal, like some emo metal shit.
I'm still sticking with dirty funk, dude. Dirty funk.
Nice. All right. I like it.
French dip, dude. Like 3 words, maybe 5, and then just a lot of dirty funk about that French dip, month old. Something like in the Les Claypool genre kind of thing, you know.
Les Claypool, that's a pretty cool. Jamie G, lawyer us up real quick, man. What happens if you do run a stop sign when your car's on auto drive? Do you really have to pay the ticket?
Absolutely not. You call
You
Jamie
just
G as
ignore
part
it,
of the
right?
fifth.
You just ignore it.
Can you blame it on the car? I think.
Hey, you blame it on the car and you ignore it, dude. Like it's like sovereign Skynet law of 2022 or something.
We'd have a huge lawsuit against Suma. Like we would. This would have been, man. That's my dream scenario right there. Dennis Reynolds calls me and we sue that company. We make millions of dollars.
Flew right through that stop sign. I'm telling you.
Well, the car controlled itself.
It was asking for the ticket. It was asking for it.
Absolutely. It wanted to do that because it's not in control of itself, but it doesn't let you control it.
Do that. I mean,
that's Suma's fault. Suma's at fault for that.
That's the way the system made it, dude. You know, it's a system's fault.
The system made it. It's a systemic issue.
Instead of talking to Samson, I guess we're going to have to talk to Brandon, but it's not quite time for that yet. Because next, Dennis is forced to walk to a cell phone store where he once again encounters policies that raise his blood pressure. He eventually gets a phone by having another line added to Frank's family plan. Unfortunately, the new phone can't communicate with the Suma. Dennis then spends what seems to be hours on the phone with various customer service representatives. Finally, he gets a human being on the phone. Unfortunately, Daisy can't help him either. Fed up with the system, Dennis decides to track down the man responsible for building it. How annoying is it when you've been a customer somewhere for years and then you see you're getting internet or whatever, you're paying $180 and it's like, oh, new customers can get that deal for $75 a month for 2 years. How bullshit is that?
Total bullshit. I just fucking got done dealing with this not too long ago with the fucking my internet and cable provider, man. I was like, well, how come these people are getting this deal? How come I'm getting screwed? Because I've had this for 4 or 5 years now, give or take, maybe even more, man, But yeah, I mean, they fuck over the long-term customers just to grab in the new ones, man. And then little do those new ones know they're going to eventually get fucked over too. And somebody else will get a better deal.
Yeah, I understand for economic and business purposes why they do it, but it's bullshit from you shouldn't have to keep switching services or whatever just to get the deal. Then either price it fairly so everyone pays the same price, or then offer your existing customers, hey, this is a promotion we're offering. We'll give it to you for 1 year instead of 2 or something like that.
Or yeah, hey,
At
this
least throw 'em a
promotion's going
bone.
on for this promotion's going on for 3 months. We'll give you 3 months of this deal.
Yeah, you have to sign a contract,
Right,
say, so you commit to them for another year. So
something like that would be cool. Do something, man. So yeah, shit, man.
That's what I'm saying. And we mentioned it a little bit, just any kind of final thoughts. It's basically the end of it here until it kind of comes back around at the end. Thoughts on the gang kind of using the pressure cooker to cook diamonds? Is this too dumb for them, or just like fun enough to, make it worthwhile, basically? Because you think Frank would know.
I think it's
Frank
exactly.
knows better, right?
Well, but for me, I think it was super fun, and I think Frank knows better often, but he's got something else up his sleeve, so he lets it play out. For me, I love that you got Charlie here being like, "Man, I'm just surprised nobody's thought of this before." It's just, to me, it worked. I thought it was very, funny enough, and it was a good kind of turnaround. And then, of course, we see the diamond at the end, so it all pays off. But for me, I thought it worked just fine.
I do too, man. I think it was definitely something that I wouldn't put past them trying to do anyway. And as we see at the end, I think that might be the case because it does kind of allude to that. But if you haven't thought of fucking cooking coal in a pressure cooker in hopes to make diamonds, then for pearls either. So where you at, dude?
I mean, it ain't where you from, it's where you at. And we all definitely, I think, have stated that we are very down on bad customer service. And I am especially very down on technology that can perform its basic functions, especially on Barry. We talked about, shout out the Barry podcast, how many times the writers of the show brought up their frustrations with Bluetooth technology. And you got to get that in this episode where he gets a new phone and still can't communicate with the car. That's just so relatable to me. And this is also where we get a new dentist system. And this is a fun one. Stick with me if you will. D, deliver me from this. E, engage with human. N, nightmare. N, nightmare. I, is this real? S, somebody help me. It's a good system, I think. Easy.
I like it. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fairly pivotal moment. And I love that you can tell Dennis has done this so many times that he's memorized his 17-digit VIN. He just types it in. And if you watch during the montage, there's a part where when he's on the phone, he walks up the car. He just walks up the hood and over it. And just one of the beautiful small touches here is that when he's on hold, they actually play a jazz version of Listen to Your Heart. That's the whole music. I only noticed it because it was in the subtitles. And shout out him, N for Nancy. One of my more favorite Archer episodes is Skytanic, and he famously says M is in Mancy.
What were the last 2 letters?
B, as in butthole.
What do we do here?
And M, as in Mancy.
What?
M as in what?
Mancy. What'd you think I said? Nancy!
Oh.
You idiot!
Yeah.
So shout out M is in Mancy. I don't know if Mancy's really a name anymore, but love the Archer callback.
Do you know anybody named Nancy? Do you know anybody named Nancy?
I
don't think I do. I don't think I
I think it might be a last name. I think I might have known a last name, maybe.
Maybe Daisy. And really shout.
Holy shit, where did that go? I read there was Drew.
Not one you see all the time. And just another nice piece of directing is when you go like at the end of the cell phone store scene, when the phone's going to work, Dennis just kind of like is getting so happy. And then you immediately cut to him just screaming because the phone is not working. That was just a nice piece of editing and directing right there. Really just loved that. And I could totally feel his frustration right there. And you drink, this is a long one.
I think if I had a girl kid right now, I would name it Nancy. Just cause.
Just to get it back in the rotation?
Fuck yeah, why not, dude?
After the commercial break, Dennis arrives on foot at the SUMA headquarters. Unfortunately, the CEO isn't there. His secretary mentions that he's at a beach house, and Dennis asks her, which beach is it? Dennis then arrives at the CEO's beach house, and they have a wordless encounter as the sun sets on the horizon over the ocean. Dennis places the CEO's hand over his heart, and then Dennis places his hand on the CEO's chest. Then, as Listen to Your Heart plays, Dennis rips the man's heart from his chest. Dennis crushes the heart in his hand, and it becomes a glowing jewel which Dennis eats and savors. As he's savoring it, we dissolve back to the doctor's office where Dr. Suma is amazed that Dennis was able to lower his blood pressure 20 points in less than a minute. Then, Dennis gets a call from Charlie asking if they are above or below sea level, and Dennis tells him that he'll be right there. Dennis exits the office, and as he walks out, we see all of the people who Dennis imagined as he was lowering his blood pressure.
So yeah, man, let's dive right into this fucking Kalima heart snag.
Oh, dude, that's the stones and everything. I kind of picked up because of the rain and everything. I had a little bit of a feeling that something was off in the scene at the Suma offices. But then right when they cut, just when you see like the background is kind of almost obviously CGI or green screen or whatever, and I think that was intentional. So at that point, I was like, okay, I knew this wasn't actually really happening. The only way I would have actually bought it is if then Dennis Reynolds just got arrested at the end of the episode, and then the show was gonna like.
Well, the thing is, man, could he have actually what if it was in America and he was like, where? What if it was in like fucking wherever the fuck over
Right,
there?
it had to be at the Jersey Shore. Basically, it was the only way it worked.
Right.
Nothing wrong with it. I mean, I was following along. We were on the Night Pod Cometh account on the Twitter or whatnot, kind of tweeting along, following along, and the reaction was crazy. People were like, "What am I watching? What is going on?"
Yeah,
it was
I love
absolutely wild, and I loved. It was a big swing, and it definitely worked for me. I thought it was great. You know, just when they cut back to the doctors and Dennis says, "I'll be right there." If they would have just ended the episode there, that would have been cool. The fact that they kept going and did a Kaiser Soze thing, that's I think what took it. You know, we talked about a couple other episodes that were really good, but they didn't quite get that thing that took it to the next level. I think that like extra tacked on bit of the ending and the whole Kaiser Soze and Dennis is so happy and confident that you kind of believe like this is a man who could lower his blood pressure 20 points by willing it to happen, right? Maybe we undersold his ability to make the sickness be gone.
Yes to everything. One little thing in there that I really loved was just when he goes to eat that diamond jewel, whatever it was. I like to believe it was a diamond because of the whole pressure cooking diamond things earlier in the episode. So I like to believe that. But when he goes to eat it, I just love the blood dripping down the face of his watch where it's his blood pressure. Just a nice little thing there. And then when he goes to eat it, he just like slowly like rubs like his hands all over his face. It was super awesome, creepy, scary, and just epic all at the same time. Just a little piece of that scene that I really think was cool, that there was so much else going on. It's probably going to be forgotten, but it was really cool.
And we've seen Dennis talk about that before, like trying to feed on people's like rage, like their emotions and anger and rage, and that just all worked. It brought it back around, right? The whole thing, the pressure, the diamonds, the blood pressure, the song, just the beach, tied it all back in, dude.
And like that blood was dripping down his hand, and he had the watch on and shit, and it never went from green. His blood pressure never went up the whole time. It was just solid straight, like happy green the whole time. He was going through that whole thing with that, man. So, any other time he focuses on the watch, he's like in the orange or the red or some shit,
I love the idea that this is, obviously kind of a stand-in for Elon Musk a little bit, but, a CEO of a technologically forward company, and he's reading a paper copy of the Pelican Brief, which came out, I believe, in 91 or 2, probably, John Grisham novel. Shout out Glenn Howerton, obviously kills it, but I thought the actor who played the CEO, whose name is Brandon for what it's worth, I thought he did really good, because it was just face acting, right?
Yeah.
Like the emotions that went over Howerton's face as playing Dennis, I thought were just fantastic. And for the record, just all of the random people, like the Suma, the car, that was actually from the name of Dr. Suma. The car rental employee was one of the patients in the waiting room, as was the teaspoon employee. The cop was the security guard we see at the very end. The cell phone employee was the dude from the diabetes poster. The Suma secretary was Dr. Suma's secretary. Makes sense there. And the Suma CEO is the other doctor that Dennis passes in the hallway at the end. So tied it all together, brought the room together, tied it in like the dude's rug.
Really tied it together, man. Better than dude's rug. I love the fucking ending to this one, man. It was fucking top notch, man. And we say Usual Suspects because that's the most known fucking relation right there. But in the back of my head, I'm also going to a movie, Dead End. Reminds me of that too, with Marcotte and all that shit, dude. If nobody's ever seen that movie, it does the same kind of thing at the end. Some of these people and names and whatever the fuck, come back into play as a different, what the fuck. So very cool shit, man.
Yeah, a little bit of a spoiler there on Dead End, but go check out Dead End. Awesome one. Leading up to this episode, it kind of had a falling down type theme for me, which was a Michael Douglas joint where he's walking around with a bag of guns, just waiting to lose his shit.
One bad day, right? One average man is a bad day or something. What if your day was
Yeah.
the worst day you had or something like that? I remember the tagline.
Yeah, falling down. So it kind of had that, but I think again, man, this ending just, it would have been great without it. This put it over the top and made it a classic for me. Guys, before we start the award tour, let's check in on how the rest of the Sunny fandom out there in the world has reacted this episode. Magnum Mills, what does it look like out there in the interwebs, man?
Well, as I mentioned, following along kind of live on Twitter, threads, the whatnot, everybody was just like, what the fuck is happening? Everybody on Reddit was a little bit more cautious, maybe, but it seemed to be almost universally loved. Everyone, I think, was really impressed with the chances it took. And that's kind of held up on IMDb, where Dennis Takes a Mental Health Day has a rating of 9.2. That puts it in an 8-way tie for the 7th overall episode of Sunny. When you count for the ties, that basically makes it like a top 15 episode. What do you think, man? What's the Goldilocks zone here? Is this too low? This too high? This just about right? For me, I'd say top 25, probably maybe top 20. I don't know if it quite gets in the top 15, but I think it's quite good.
It's close. It's a big number. It's a big, bold statement. Top 15 is big considering, what is it? This was the 170th or something, 174.
Yeah, it's tied with like episodes like Johnny McDonald's off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's way up there.
Suburbs, maybe it's up there with some big names.
So for me, I'm gonna say it's I'd probably say maybe not top 15, but definitely maybe top 20. I know that's not a big swing. It's only 5 spaces, but for me, I think it's that good, and I think it's gonna hold up incredibly well.
That's interesting, man, because like for me, I'm ranking this shit a little bit higher, dude. I'm putting this in the top 5, man.
Oh, okay. I like that. Bold move, Cotton.
Not your average fucking Sunny episode. And for me, I've never really been that huge on Dennis, but this episode really made me fucking kind of understand Dennis a little bit more. And I don't know, man, it did a lot for me in a couple different fucking aspects or whatever. I'm putting this episode right up there in the top 5, man.
That's awesome, man. Well, I gotta say, I was very intrigued by the title. Dennis Takes a Mental Health Day. No complaints there out of me. But there are probably some solid alternative title episodes that we could think of here. So maybe we throw out a few, right? What are you guys thinking?
I like Dennis Reynolds, a medical marvel. Makes him sound like a superhero too.
That's great.
Anybody else got one?
The Gang Makes Diamonds, I think, could be really cool. Even though it really wasn't, it's such a small piece of this episode, but I think that would have been neat to just have the title be something that wasn't, it was just kind of a minor piece, but it actually tied us it all together. So I thought that could be pretty cool.
I mean, if you wanted to kind of do a play on an Arnold thing, you could go with It's Not a Suma.
Not a Suma. That's
It's
great.
not a Suma. I thought Dennis Loses His Keys would be a good one, because not only did he lose his phone, which is now his key, but there are really no keys. I think this could tie in, and he's like a mental health day, so you could tie that into I lost my keys. I think that would work on a couple different levels. Dennis loses his keys. Yeah.
I like that. Either I think Dennis Reynolds versus the system or Dennis Reynolds versus the world probably would have both worked. I think I like the system better.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fuck the system, dude.
Yeah, Dennis Reynolds, fuck the system. Throw a little colon in there, and you're cooking with gas, dude. That's what colon's do.
A little colon, not the large colon.
Yeah, it's like with the big N, the little Q, or the small Y, big Q. I forget the
capital N, little Y.
Y, big fucking Q. There you go, dude. That's why there's no pills for young men.
Guys, that's awesome. It's time for the final award tour of season 16. Man, I can't believe we're already here. As usual, our first stop is our favorite quotes from the episode. Mills, you're up first here, man. So make like roasted root, do a little Mike Glebicki, and send us on our way.
I got to go right with the opening scene, the exchange between the doctor and Dennis, where Dennis explains that he's sick of chronically suffering fools.
Okay, if I wanted my blood pressure to be low, I would simply command my body to make it low.
That's really not how chronic high blood pressure works.
Okay, well, it is how it works with Dennis Reynolds, okay? And if I'm chronically having high blood pressure, it's because I'm chronically suffering fools who won't listen to me when I say that I can do things.
Jamie G, how about yourself?
So for me, I got to go back to mid episode here where Dennis is really starting to fight against the system, and he looks at her and he says,
Right, because the pin's the key to the phone, and the phone's the key to the car, and everything's been streamlined. Excuse me, please. I need to make a call on my watch.
it's just so relatable, dude, because that's literally real life right now. And I don't know, I just thought that was great. It was just kind of a microcosm of the whole episode, right? With just like all the advances in the technology and how great it is, but how yet it can be so incredibly frustrating to be kind of dealing with it. So I thought that was a cool line.
All I gotta say is Inspector Gadget did it first. Soup, favorite quote.
Good call on Inspector Gadget, and I'm going a little bit earlier in the episode. There's a lot of good ones here to choose from, but a lot of them are very similar. So I'm just going to pinpoint it to this one, man, where it's about the keys. He just wants the keys to the car.
An app. Boy, I gotta tell you, I don't love that. I have a lot of apps on my phone already, and keys are sort of a system that have existed for millennia. I don't know why we're trying to fix that, but yeah, no, now we got apps. We got apps for everything, right? Even for things we already had things for.
Stick with the keys, dude.
The Soup says, "You know my keys."
I want the key to unlock the door. I want to roll my fucking window down by hand. You know, I want to actually use the gas pedal. You know, I want to shift the gears manually. Like, you know, fucking, I don't trust a self-driving car, dude. Obviously, they're on where they run a stop signs and shit, you know.
That's why you walked uphill both ways through the pouring rain and a blizzard and a
barefoot
at the same time. Dude.
Yeah, with no
both
barefoot.
ways
Right.
somehow.
Both ways barefoot. Guys, we got to get on to our next stop on this award tour. And this is our favorite scene or moment from Dennis Takes a Mental Health Day. Guys, I hate to eat the chalk here, but I've got to go with that final scene. It's just too good, man.
I got to be right there with you on the final scene, dude. I can't not pick it, man.
Let's put it this way. Let's all say that just basically everything from the ending when Dennis shows up at the CEO's house onward is just our favorite scene. What's your second favorite scene then, Jamie G? Because I think that's unanimous. So that's the best, obviously. So just because I think there's a lot of great, especially interaction with the customer service people. What's your favorite?
Well, I probably got to go to where Dennis is just, I was going to go his interaction with the police officer, but I got to go with his interaction just on the phone, just when he breaks out the new Dennis system. He's so frustrated. He walks over the car. That whole scene was just very funny as well.
You got a secondary one, Soup? Any particular customer service tone or anything else?
Aside from that one, I really think all the other customer service interactions were kind of the same.
And I'm just going to kind of go with the bit where Dennis is on the phone with the gang and you're kind of getting some of the exchange with them about the pressure cooking and whatnot. And then the car blows a stop sign and he gets pulled over by the cop. That whole bit was great, especially Dennis when the car just,
All right, stepping out.
Well, who could have predicted that?
I thought that was really great. And Dennis, you shouldn't have shut the door of the car. That's on you, brother.
The next stop, it's a big one. It's time for our final 5-star man or woman of the season. This is where we rank the characters in an episode from 1 to 5 stars, with 1 star being the worst and the 5-star man or woman being our episode MVP. Mills, you're up first here, buddy.
This was a tough one because there was a temptation to just give all 5 stars to the big guy, our original 5-star man, but man, I did a little differently. At 1 star, I have the cell phone employee. I at the cell phone store there, I thought he was fun. He was pretty decent. At 2, I have the rental car employee. I thought she was great. A little bit of snarkiness to her. She was pretty good. At 3, I have the cop. He didn't get a lot to do, but it also ties into the fact when he's just gives that look as a security guard at the end. I thought that was really great. At 4, I had the teaspoon employee, the barista chick who can't mix the boba and the tea and the whatnot. And obviously, my 5-star man is Dennis Reynolds, because who else could it be? I could have made them all 5 stars, but Dennis only needs 5. Jamie G.
I can't think of an episode we're going to get Dennis an entire episode like this. He crushes. He pulls it off. It's not Dylon. It's Dennis. 5-star man. He's all the stars, dude. He's a golden god.
I'm giving Charlie the one down there at the bottom because he had the good, him and Matt gets number 4 because those two had the good idea about fucking pressure cooking the fucking coal to make diamonds or whatever. So they get the bottom 2 stars, man. And they were the only ones that really had like anything to do with like exterior or whatever the fuck in there, man. So whatever, they get the 2 just as fill-ins. And then Dennis just sweeps the rest of it, dude. I can't even fucking, I mean, whatever, dude. Fucking, it's a Dennis Reynolds fucking mental health day, man. And he takes it on this one, man. So a little piece of me almost wanted to give it to the fucking car, but I'm not going to. So
for the final stop on the award tour, we're going to give a grade to Dennis Takes a Mental Health Day. Guys, this is where we each grade the episode of Sunny on a scale of 0 to 100 Paddys bucks. Soup, you got to distribute some Paddys bucks and stimulate this economy for us. Give this baby a grade.
Probably up there pretty high for me. I'm giving it a solid fuck, man. I'm giving it a 99, man. 99.1. 99.1 Paddy bucks.
The Soup always likes to have a dangler.
Gotta have a little dangler out there, man.
That's awesome. I'm going to be not quite as high, but I'm very high on this one. I'm giving it 95 Paddys bucks. That's a whole lot of beers flowing around. We're stimulating the economy here. Magnum Mills, how many Paddys bucks?
I'm going to go with 92 Paddys bucks. I honestly think I have it about even with bowling, more or less. But I think bowling kind of left some meat on the bone, whereas I think mental health was basically like as good as it could possibly be. It 100% filled its everything it could be. So I'm going to put it slightly above that. So 92 Paddys bucks.
Well, now that we've graded all 8 episodes in season 16, let's see how they stack up. Magnum Mills, the mathematician, break it down for us, man, please and thank you.
At the bottom, at number 8, we have The Gang Inflates, episode 1. At number 7, we have Frank Shoots Every Member of the Gang, episode 2. At number 6, we have Celebrity Booze, The Ultimate Cash Grab, episode 5. At number 5, we have Risky Rats Pizza and Amusement Center, that was episode 6. At number 4, we have The Gang Gets Cursed, that was episode 3. Going into our top 3, at number 3, we have Frank versus Russia, that was episode 4. And obviously, the season finishes on a heater. At number 2, we have The Gang Goes Bowling, that was episode 7. And at number 1, we have the season finale, Dennis Takes a Mental Health Day. I think this was one of the best finales in a minute, and our favorite episode of the season, based on our grades.
Hey, dude, I fucking love this episode. And like when I knew it was like, oh man, this is going to be a Dennis episode. I don't know how great it's going to be. I love that it fucking blew my mind, man. And it related a little bit to like, as far as how it wrapped up, it reminded me vaguely of the Cricket's Tale, where some of it was a dream sequence, and that kind of thing, man. When you get on that level, it touches me in the brain a little bit, man. You fuck with me like that, I'm all like that kind of shit, so I'm high on this one, man.
Touch your brain instead of your heart.
Listen to your heart. Guys, I guess it's a bit too early to start making predictions for season 17, but hopefully we'll only have to wait a year for it. What is up next on the Night Pod Cometh going forward?
All right. I think we'll be back in a week or so to do a wrap-up show for season 16. Maybe we'll briefly discuss what we maybe want to or hope to see in season 17. After that, it'll be back to some throwback episodes. I think the next one up will be Frank Falls Out the Window from season 11. We're almost through with season 11. We're going to do it. I swear.
Well, I'm looking forward to all that. Thank you very much for checking out the Night Pod Cometh. And if you're truly a 5-star person, If you have any thoughts on the episode or season 16 in general, please let us know in the comments or hit us up on our social medias at Night Pod Cometh.
Thank you, sir. Like the man said, find us wherever you get your pods, on the YouTubes. Search for Night Pod Cometh, on social media at Night Pod Cometh. And please do not forget those flaps. It's very important for your mental health that you follow, like, and please subscribe. And it really helps our mental health and also our standing, because that's how other people find our show. We greatly appreciate it. And I appreciate you. We all appreciate you, because this is the Night Pod Cometh, and we appreciate everything, at least until we get our blood pressure down. I'm Magnum Mills. He's Jamie Chief. That's a Soupdeucer. And thank you again for checking out our show, and most importantly, being a fighter for the Night Pod Cometh.
Oh, wow!